Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Old Hickory Brewing Company out of Hickory, North Carolina. So I had been wanting to do a review of this beer for a little while. It comes out once a year, but it's generally in bombers. So I generally don't do reviews of giant beers in bombers or 750s just because it's so much to drink in one sitting. But they decided to put this in 12-ounce bottles this year, which I think is really great. Because I would much rather have 4 12-ounce bottles than 2 bombers, even though, you know, it's slightly more beer, not even that. It's just, I'd rather just be able to drink 12 ounces and not, you know, have to worry about the rest of it going flat or whatever. So, but this beer is called The Event Horizon. And it is a Imperial Stout brewed with honey aged in bourbon barrels. And the other interesting thing and change with this batch, other than it being in 12-ounce bottles instead of bombers, is that the original was always, I think, 8.5 ABV. So it was commonly known to a lot of people as being, you know, one of the smallest barrel-aged beers, one of the smallest good barrel-aged beers that drinks like a really big barrel-aged beer. So that's what I always appreciated about it. It was only 8.5, so it wasn't like crazy strong, but it still had a lot of heft to it and a lot of big beer barrel character. This one is 11.75, so you know, going 3 1/4 ABV jump is a big. I mean, that's a big change. That's like 40%. If I'm doing the math right, that's like a 40% jump almost. So they claim that they just got this year. They got better efficiency, and it was better efficiency in the brewing in wetter barrels. I guess that's possible, but that jump just seems too big for that to be the case. I feel like they definitely changed that recipe on the beer. I don't know. But if that's the case, I'm hoping it's a change for the good. You know, if they took what was already good at 8.5 and made it just even bigger beer, I think, you know, it won't be as. I'll take that trade-off since it's in smaller bottles. That's, you know, so it's still not as much as drinking a bomber of this. So I still think it's a good thing, and I'm hoping it tastes even better. So I'm gonna crack it open and see what we got. I did notice too, that is a very, I don't know if you can see right there, there's a very high bottle fill for, that looks like a home, sometimes if I homebrew and I'm bottling, I do a little too high, like that was really high. But I guess, you know, you're not as worried about carbonation, like over carbonation in a giant stout like this, but yeah. Maybe you should be because of the way it poured. Looks. It's pretty. I probably should have got a better glass for this so you can see the beer a little bit more. But as you can see, it pours a. It's a pretty dark, dark brown to black color with a nice beige head. Makes me think it's going to be pretty dark and hefty, which is good. Ooh, so. It definitely has the a similar barrel presence than what I remember from prior years, so that's a good thing. I will say that it doesn't really smell any boozier than the last version, so that's a good sign. I mean, if it did, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing either. But a lot of wood, a lot of oaky vanilla character. There's definitely some some dark chocolate and fudginess underneath too. It smells like this is gonna be really nice. There's also a little bit of it's almost like a little bit of a hoppy character, and then some light coffee too. Interesting. So it kind of I would say it does taste like the beer's a little bit bigger, but that is appropriate. But it seems to have a little bit less barrel character than I remember. It certainly has a good bit, but maybe it's because the beer itself has more heft that the barrel isn't as much of the singular flavor, which, in my opinion, is a good thing. I'm definitely getting more booze in the taste than I was in the aroma. It's pretty boozy up front. So you do get like a big wash of bourbon up front, or just like generic spirit. But then it falls into this like nice caramely dark chocolate finish. And it's really dry. I mean, it's not like a dry stout to that level, but for a big Imperial stout, especially a big Imperial stout for today's standards, when some of them are so sweet, it's very, very dry. And this is definitely a traditional Imperial stout, but it's good. It's really good. I don't know if I prefer it over the old smaller ones or not, to be honest. It's definitely different, but the things that are different about it make perfect sense because it's a bigger beer. You know what this reminds me of? Because as I said, I didn't really say it about the mouth or the flavor, but I was picking it up in the nose, that it still has like some underlying hoppiness, which really like a big Russian Imperial Stout should have. That's still coming through in this, and this reminds me a lot of the Barrel Aged Expedition, which I have not done a review for on here yet, but I do have a couple bottles of it, and I'm really excited to do that because this last batch that actually got distributed is fantastic. So I really can't wait to do a review for that. I actually was thinking about doing that tonight instead of this, but I wanted to try, because that I know is gone in a way, and I'm not going to be able to get it unless I trade for it until it comes out next year. This is still on the shelf, so I wanted to try this to make a decision if I wanted to buy more or not. And I'm definitely going to buy more if I see it. So I bought this at Salud in Charlotte. It was $6 plus tax, but that was the price for an individual bottle, so I'm guessing it was probably marked up like $1. So these were in 4-packs, so 4-packs probably $20. Excuse me. So $5 for a bottle of this, which is only $10. Even, you know, it's $10 for a bomber, and you get 2 ounces more. And I know bombers of this were like on the cheaper side, but I think the bombers were like 13 or 14. So actually, this is even a price break from that. So really, you know, for how expensive Bourbon County is now too, and I know some people don't want to buy it just because of the AB InBev thing, which is fine. But I don't really know if there's many barrel-aged Imperial Stouts that are this good or even close to this good for this price. $10 for a bomber and or $7.50, what I'll compare it to, because that's what a lot of them come in, is a steal for something like this, in my opinion, comparatively to today's prices and a lot of things. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious by what I've been saying, but this is definitely a buy for me. I'm gonna try to get another 4-pack if I see it hanging around, and I'm really glad that the ABV, I mean, if it floats anywhere between where it was and what it is now, I'm fine with that, because it's shown that it's a good beer either way. But what I really hope they keep doing is the 12-ounce bottles. That I really appreciate. So it's another really, really good big beer from Old Hickory. They're definitely old school, but they do make some bangers, so I appreciate that, and I hope they keep pumping these types of beers out, because they still stand up in today's crazy market of these beers. They're still really great. So I think that's all I got on this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.